Chris Williams, Brent Blum. From the Northwest Bank Studios, it's Williams and Blum, presented by Mechdyne on the Cyclone Fanatic Podcast Network.
What is up? Good morning. Welcome to the program. What day is it? March what?
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I know that. It's Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the morning because it's Williams and Blum time here on Cyclone Fanatic. We are in the lovely Northwest Bank Studios, as you can tell. Great to be back. How are you today, Blum?
How was Tucson?
It was good.
Other than the game?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I really like that place as far as a basketball facility. I did talk to Coach Otts just for a moment, and he said after the game, which it felt hyperbolic.
Okay.
When he said that that's the best team he's seen since he's been the head coach here in the Big 12. But I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Like, he's like, they're that
He said it in the presser, too.
Yeah, he said it in the presser.
But
and
he
that's
actually
why,
said it.
Yeah, like, he was like, oh, yeah. Like, that place is, I was actually texting with our friend Dean Spalding about it because he's a huge sports fan. And I was like, you got to come here. Like, this is you too. Like, just as a college basketball fan.
I'm going to the football game and whenever.
Well, that's different. Like,
yeah.
you need to bring Everett. Like, the atmosphere at the McHale Center, especially because Iowa State was top 10, right? So it was
amped up. It looked great on TV.
Sold out. It was amped up. But the atmosphere there is very comparable to Fog Allen.
Okay.
Like, it's very – and I would challenge anybody – at Iowa State, at any college, like as far as game day atmosphere goes, study these places and what they do. It's unbelievable how in sync, like the students. So the student section has because the media section, you got to walk up to it. You have to walk through the students to get to the media. It's actually kind of sucks.
Did you survive?
Well, like, you get taunted and, like, it's not pleasant, but whatever. I kind of like it. Well, bring it on. You know, I'm wearing my Cyclone Fanatic gear. They have, like, in their student section, I'm not kidding, there's, like, 15, like, leaders that are leading the U of A.
I have to say that, like.
It's unbelievable how organized the whole thing is.
But let's be honest, they have to say 3 words over and over again.
Dude, it's great. Why doesn't Iowa State chant ISU more? I'm serious.
It definitely comes across on the TV, and that's second half down 15. I'm like, just stop the U of A.
It's impactful.
It certainly
so
was
the whole
memorable.
thing, like their pregame, like the which Iowa State's has gotten light years better than it was 5 years. It's actually pretty good now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But like it's just so well put together. It's really an incredible place to go and experience a game. So I'm still glad I win.
Yeah, for sure.
Despite the outcome.
It's always enjoyable, and I know we're lucky in that aspect to go and see away basketball and football games in particular, just because you get
it's just cool.
You get a good vibe of just different places.
It's funny. I was talking to Andy from Preferred Pest Control. He was on my flight. Him and his wife went to the game, and we were discussing that. Like, it's a deal. It's like, oh, is it better than? No, none of it's like better. Or it's just different, and you see these different ways that these different places do things, and like it's very. You could just feel they got a weird thing going on there where it's like they're pro sport, but it's still college town. Where a lot of these pro sport, so like Creighton is the best example I have here, because it is in a state with no pro. If you go to a Creighton game, you feel like you're at an NBA game.
The arena feels like one. Yeah, I went to the exhibition game, and it was.
Yeah,
it felt closer to.
You've got like young professionals in suits that are there for a social event.
Courtside tickets are kind of a thing,
and you don't do that at Iowa State. It's diehards.
And it doesn't work it wouldn't work at Iowa State either.
Iowa State fans, we would poo-poo that. So. It's just cool. I don't know if I'm not saying it's better than anything, but it's definitely now that they're in the Big 12, I'm just telling our audience that's a trip you should take to see an Arizona home basketball game. It is a highly impressive experience.
I just hopefully next time it's different result. That was
we'll get into it.
That was a tough watch.
So full disclosure, we got to be off at about 9:45 today, so we got to keep this thing moving. We also have this gymnastics story that we need to talk about as much as we really can. I don't want to lead with that because I want to lead with basketball. I think that's what the majority of our people want today, and then we will get into the gymnastics situation as much as we possibly can, because it's just we kind of know what we know, and now all these people are let's just leave with it. I'm not going to dance around.
We don't need to dance. Let's just talk about it. It was. I'll just say this.
We're presented by Mechdyne, by the way.
Thank you, Mechdyne. I got more texts from non-sports people yesterday than I have in a while. Like I think this story, I think you guys probably, if you're watching this, you at least have an understanding of this more than the general public. I think the general public is like, what? I mean, it kind of caught a lot of what I would say the casuals off. I got a bunch of texts from just like old people I haven't talked to. And I was like, what's this all about?
This is a multiple things can be true type of conversation for me. I think unequivocally, it makes more sense for Iowa State to have women's wrestling than it does gymnastics.
In 2026.
Yes. Okay. So if that's the direction it's going, I don't have information on that. I'm reading between the lines. You have recruiting. It's so easy. Like there's great women's wrestling, girls wrestling in the state of Iowa. You could fill a roster tomorrow for next year. So like all of that can be true. Now we're getting a lot of the other thing that can be true is anybody associated with gymnastics as a sport in general is going to be highly defensive right now. And rightfully so, right? Like this is their passion. It reminds me a lot of wrestling fans. It reminds me a lot of my favorite sport, like auto racing. We are a highly defensive group because it feels like the only time we get talked about is when somebody dies, when something bad happens, right? So you've seen this when these like wrestling programs across the country get cut, the whole wrestling community gets pissed and they start like posting and like because they're defending like their passion. So
that happened at Stanford.
Absolutely.
Which is Stanford.
You know, all of these things can be true. Do I inherently think anyone in this situation is just lying? I don't. I don't think Jamie Pollard is. I don't think Iowa State is. I don't think that these gymnastics people who feel like their sport was underfunded and didn't really have a chance to succeed. I think the truth is like somewhere in the middle there, and it got bad and pretty toxic, it sounds like, at Iowa State. It sounds... You know, I'm just going off of Pollard's thing. Like they were all like fighting and like sounds like parents were heavily involved in this situation. Which doesn't sound like he made a great hire, you know, as far as keeping the program in check. So yeah, like there's nuance to all of this. And I just challenge it. Like you have to funnel everything through. Why are these people acting that? Because I sent a note to our staff yesterday. I was like, guys, before we have like hard opinions, we don't know enough. We don't know enough about this situation. And I predicted it. I said anything coming out like is going to be highly emotional today. And I totally respect that because gymnastics is a small community. It's a lot like wrestling is how I would comp it to, like as far as the number of programs across the country. So let's wait and see how this thing settles. It's an unfortunate day of the news cycle for Iowa State, though. No doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't look at it and say, hey, that was
great day.
I mean, not at all. Like that, you know, especially on the heels of suspending the season and then that happening. I mean, a couple takeaways I had from Jamie's video was, I think the biggest takeaway is that this was not a financial decision, which was interesting to me because clearly – we've talked about it on this program more than you guys probably want to hear about. The financial stressors that are college athletics right now. And I'll be curious, C-Dub, on that time frame, how quickly Iowa State would potentially, as they said in that press release, reimagine women's sports at Iowa State and potentially add something else. Because that, to me, and this is where my conflict is, and again, I'm with you. I like looking at things from every angle. It's why I watch... my wife makes fun of me because I will flip from CNN to MSNBC. I guess it's a different name now, to Fox News, just to get all sides, to see what can I be mad about here. To understand. All right, so if it's not a financial situation, then why is the former gymnastics coach, who's now a multiple national champion, saying that the program is chronically underfunded? So I was like, where what am I missing here? Like how big of a delta was it between the lack of funding needed to be competent to was it a personality thing? And then the second question would be, why at Iowa State had multiple issues of gymnastics over the last 8 years? And does it happen elsewhere? I don't know. I haven't heard about it. Why is Iowa State the only program that has largely dropped women's gymnastics? And that's why I'm having a tough time just kind of understanding it. But also,
we need to look into, like, is it an expensive sport? Is it?
I mean, I looked at the numbers. I think it loses a couple million.
I mean, I would guess there's more injuries. The training is. You could die in gymnastics if you're not properly prepared. If you don't have good facilities, there's a lot to this sport that doesn't exist for the golf team.
And Jamie referenced several times, it's the student athlete experience, which if they're not providing the best student athlete experience, I agree, then don't kind of go halfway in. Like, that's where you get in trouble. That was a tough decision. And again, I think, let me just say this real quick. I think right now is the most difficult time for college sports athletic departments than in the history of the last 75 years.
And he can say, and I don't think he's lying about that this isn't a financial decision for what it's worth. I don't believe that it is. I think if whatever the hell happened in the last 5 years or what didn't happen, I don't think yesterday would have happened.
I agree with that too.
I don't think this was just like a hatchet job to save $1 million on the budget. I don't.
Nope.
However, I think that this is a part of a broader conversation, though, everywhere with these Olympic sports, and it's why my guy Cody Campbell is doing what he's doing. If you give these people an excuse going forward,
there you go.
The hatchets will come out. And it's just an easier decision to make now. And let's find I've seen flag football. I can imagine that wouldn't be a very expensive sport. I don't know. I don't know. But what I don't want to do is do what I get mad about with racing. Yeah. Is the only time I'm going to talk about gymnastics in the history of my career is when something bad happens. I feel for these athletes, their families. I feel for the gymnastics community.
The incoming recruits as well. That's a tough spot.
I feel for that. I think Iowa State did the classy thing by honoring all of that and the scholarships, and that's how it should go down. I just need to refrain. I don't know enough. I don't. And you have to funnel where information is coming from. And the gymnastics community is irate. And a lot of people, the Oklahoma coach.
Yeah, who's the former Iowa State All-American. She had a very strong statement this morning. And again, this is where I encourage everybody to read everything and get your own opinion. So KJ Kindler, KJ Kindler was an All-American at Iowa State in the 90s.
And isn't Oklahoma like a dynasty?
Oh, they've won 7 national championships.
All right.
But KJ then became the head coach at Iowa State. And that was the quote-unquote glory days of Iowa State women's gymnastics. And when we were there, a little before we were there, it was 2002 to, I think she left in 06 or 07. And the reason why she left, it's interesting. You can go back and look at the press release. Press releases were a lot more honest back in the day, quite candidly. It was basically like she wanted air conditioning in the gymnastics facility 20 years ago and didn't get it. And so she left and go to Oklahoma and then built a dynasty down there. So Iowa State grad. I think she's in the Hall of Fame, by the way. I don't know. Anyway.
I know the name, but I would be a liar if I said I follow gymnastics. I don't.
She's been there for 20 years now. It's 7 national championships. So she had a really strong statement this morning, basically saying the Iowa State gymnastics program was chronically underfunded, and basically she was disappointed in putting the blame on the sport. To your point, of the gymnastics people, because I get it. Singling out one sport that's tough. That's tough on that sport because is something wrong with me then? I mean, we all have to do a little reflection here. But what does it mean going forward? I'm not sure. That's why
I'll make a prediction.
It's really hard to know what does this mean for Iowa State. Regardless, I'll just say this. I keep coming back to it. Tough decision. No other industry does have all these competing factions right now. Like, you are a public university, okay? You're dealing with student athletes and young people under FERPA laws, Title IX laws, HIPAA laws, all these things. You have the state entity with your legislatures who you're answering to, and the Board of Regents, and your administration, and you're funded privately by TV networks and all these things, and donors, and season ticket holders, and you guys, the fans.
And
like, there are a lot of competing factions here, and it is. The one thing I totally agree with Jamie. This is not a fun time for college athletics administration. This is really hard stuff right now.
And on top of it, I just think that we're going to see increasing by the month. I think there's going to be a lot of stories, I don't know like this, but about the sports cutting thing coming this summer.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Like, and this is a deal where it's like I see a lot of people in our comments about, oh, you have to build the entire athletic department. And like, I actually think Pollard, if anything, we have a lot of friends who criticize him for giving too much to the other programs.
100%.
Right? That's because he really has. If you look at like they could have just not built the golf thing. They could have just not built a lot of this stuff and just pumped it into men's basketball and football.
Softball.
I think I hope I'm wrong here, by the way. I think at the trajectory of college athletics in 10 years, we're going to look around, and I think guys like Pollard and these long-term like sports like academia people are going to be few and far between.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, because I think that most of those people have the right mindset. I think you're going to see CEOs, these type like legal people who are going to be calling the shots for a lot of it, like general manager type stuff. I hope I'm wrong. I want to live in a world where Iowa State has a gymnastics, a tennis team, swimming and diving, and for the way the rules are now, they will, because of how but I'm wondering if they're going to mess with that, right? Like, the more this becomes a for-profit thing, the more you're going to see decisions like this that are made. And again, they say it's not because of money. I actually believe them. I really do. I don't think they're just doing this because of a fine. I do not believe that for a second. Mm-hmm. But I don't believe that, like, you look at Stanford, you look at Ohio State, some of these, the biggest athletic departments in the country.
4 sports 5 years ago.
The biggest athletic departments in the country that have 35, 40 sports, they're going to start cutting, and it's because of the for-profit nature of football and men's basketball. It's going to happen.
This was my fear all along, is college sports is in the middle of a complete identity crisis. What do you want to be? What do you want to be? Do you want to be a TV product that highlights high-level college football and college basketball and get the billions of dollars from TV? Or do you want to serve the student-athlete experience, quote-unquote, on that side? And the problem, C-Dub, is you have constituents on both ends.
Yeah.
You've got fans. I would say majority of you watching this, yes, you want the gymnastics program to do well, but not at the expense of not being able to find a shooting guard.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Would you rather have a men's golf team or a really good point guard?
And
like,
it's just,
like, that sounds outrageous. It's not going forward. It's really not.
And that's where it's just it's a hard time. I have empathy for so many people up there, specifically the athletes that are going through this, and the whole
thing sucks.
It's just
like,
not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say about it.
What I'll also say, I don't think this is done with either. The one thing that, you know, my antennas are up a little bit. Not through this whole entire situation have we heard from the current gymnastics coach. So now, which also leads me to believe, is there, and I know there's going to be legal things. Jamie referenced the general counsel a couple times in there, the leadership. There are more to this than just what's out there, I'm pretty sure, or at least there will be, because that's 2026 in America. Like, this is not gonna, we're not over this thing. And that's why it makes a decision. That's a tough decision, and it's probably not the end of this, but it's going to be. I'm truly fascinated about what the next step would be for whatever the next sport is, or what happens in general publicly.
I mean, don't you think, to move on, that the wrestling is the one that makes the most sense.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think, you may be able to rally.
Aiden, can you look up how many women's
There's
wrestling
not many. I mean, that's the thing.
exist right now? Well, my point is though, if they are going to exist, wouldn't our state be?
Well, and this is where again I'm looking at. Obviously was in a fundraising role. It would be a lot easier to fundraise, I think, based on the support of wrestling in this state and support a program that way than it is a gymnastics program.
Even like corporately, like there's businesses
100%
that will support wrestling over. Let's start beach volleyball at Iowa State, right? Like
there would be a route there
would be local kids participating.
You got it. There would be huge support, and you're right, even from the corporate folks to initiate a women's wrestling program. I have no idea if that's going to be the case, and I think honestly, I think I should have a serious conversation. Yes, you want to add a sport.
You have to add a sport.
I think they
Title IX. They have to add.
Yeah, they will have to. But again, I think you have to really take a big. I'm glad they're not rushing into that. I think it would have been ill-timed, which I'm glad they didn't do this yesterday. Of saying, "Hey, we're cutting gymnastics and we're going to add, women's wrestling or flag football or whatever." At least take an understanding. I would like more than anything to have new president David Cook kind of take a look at everything and what's happening here. I think that's a great first project for that. He's been around. I think they've done an awesome job. Kudos to the Cook family for being around athletics. They were at wrestling. They were at men's basketball. They're at the women's basketball Sukup complex the other day. He's been very visible publicly. Even the video he put out on Monday saying, I'm home. Well, like they need that guy to really get out there, and it can't just be Jamie anymore. I mean, I think what's the old phrase? Die young and be a hero, live long enough and be a villain. I just think there needs to be a different passer of the message right now. And David Cook needs to take athletics as really a big thing right now and say, this is important for us. We're going to get this right at Iowa State.
And that was, Aiden.
There are currently 113.
Women's wrestling?
Yes,
There
but
really?
only
No.
6 of those are Division I. That's schools like Delaware State, Lehigh,
So you're saying like a lot of like
Presbyterian, Sacred Heart, and Iowa are the only Division I programs right now.
Yeah, and listen, to that, women's wrestling is ascending. Right? Like
Yeah,
look at the high school ranks. It's going to keep growing.
It'll grow in the areas
But like
where
why
wrestling is
wouldn't
popular.
we be a part of that?
I'm with you.
Like do what you do well.
And I do
Right?
think there'd
Like-
be good support, dare I say, from the state as well. And that's something you got to look at too.
That's the biggest thing for me, and I think that's where Cook needs to be. Just
Totally agree. And that's
Live-
what I don't mean.
live-
Like I don't mean disrespect. Like James, like he's not.
living at
they-
that state house.
They need to get they need that side of it. It's like it's not just meeting with the regents every once in a while. They really need to get out in front more. I think as an institution with those state people in regards to athletics. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's happening, but it's behind the scenes.
Yeah, but again, I like the fact. And there's
I
nothing
like what Louisville did this week.
Yeah, totally. Stuff like that. I mean, they had a
like just
joint.
be the. My wife being a veterinarian, she always talks about how it's the little dogs that'll jump up and bite you.
Yeah.
They're the loudest ones. She doesn't really worry about the, Saint Bernard, but she constantly worries about the poodles biting her. Freaking be a poodle right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm all in on that.
Well, and again, I would say Iowa State's in the news right now. Is it for the best way? No. But now's the time to really say, hey, this is what can happen.
Yeah, you want to help us fund these these
right.
programs?
Because of the and I know again he says it's not. Iowa State says it's not funding. I do believe that to an extent. We also know there is a funding challenge right now at Iowa State athletics. That's not a secret either. I would guess if there was $200 million sitting around extra, that decision is a little bit harder on the other end to make. Maybe you say, well, maybe we'll try another coaching staff then and see where that goes. I don't know.
Last word I have on this, and I've been reading a lot and trying to be as responsible as possible because I don't know, guys. Like I actually hate the fact that I've spent 25 minutes on this because I don't feel I know Iowa State, but I don't know the gymnastics world, and I just want to be very upfront about that. But I also know how fans are.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of the same people who are the loudest right now because they're pissed off about this, who are pissed that the offensive line sucks in their mind. And like, there will be decisions that will be made, and then across all of college athletics, not just at Iowa State. Do you want the golf team that you all of a sudden have all this pride in? I've never seen you post about them before, but now all of a sudden or do you want a really good point guard? Right, like those it sucks. It's the reality of the world, and we all just need to kind of like. And this is why we, as a show, I think it can probably get a little bit taxing for people who don't care about the business side of it.
Understand.
But it's why Brent and I are so focused on the Cody Campbells of the world and all that stuff going on, because these decisions are really going to have a lasting impact on everything.
The decisions made 5 years ago with NIL, I do think it's totally impacting Iowa State right now, and it's really difficult right now. So I think this is a culmination of a lot of things, clearly, and there's going to be some tough decisions going forward too. And this is where leaders have to lead.
And it hold everybody accountable though. And Iowa cut 4 sports a handful of years ago, so like this isn't, and they're replacing this sport, so it's not like it's
not gone forever.
Yeah. It's a challenging deal. Mechdyne is our presenting sponsor. We're in the Northwest Bank Studios. Want to give a shout out to my buddies over at Gravitate Co-working, gravitatecoworking.com. Also, our friend Hope Wood. I have my will in a day scheduled. I just haven't gotten time to do it yet.
I'm glad you made it back from Tucson in one piece.
Yeah, and
that would have been really unfortunate.
That would have been really unfortunate. Last but not least, Forever True Day with the Iowa State University Foundation. You want to make an impact, you can make an impact 100%. There. And it doesn't have to be any of this ugly stuff we're talking about. You can give to any area of this university that you would like. I like to sprinkle it. Because to me, it feels like in my participation with this over the years that it's not really the size. I think they'd love a huge donation, but they like getting new donors 100%. To these different departments, and then they can grow and you feel like you're a part of it, and then hopefully you give more as you get older. That's how I look at Forever True Day. It gives you a connection to campus.
The more you invest, the better you feel. The more tie you have back, and I can't wait for that day. I've got my programs picked out. I've got to figure out where I want to go win.
We've got 15 minutes to do men's basketball and the Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment. Right. Let's start with the Big 12 because last night was crazy.
A lot of questions about what this does for the seed. Unfortunately,
heads are falling off.
So TCU did not see this one coming at all. After what Tech did to Iowa State Saturday, TCU goes in there and beats Tech. And was up 10 for a good portion of the second half.
I wish Iowa State could get Tech in Kansas City in the quarters because I would like to see that game play out again.
I would too.
I watched that game too many times. I've watched it 3 times. They hit some damn tough shots. Iowa State wasn't good in the first half. They hit some damn tough shots, and I just wonder. I would like to see Iowa State play them again. And the other point, we noted on the Otzelberger thing, Brent, in a weird-ass way, I feel better about Iowa State after the Arizona game than I did. I can't explain it. I really think that big guy gave them all sorts of problems. They didn't guard the 5. Did you notice that? So everybody packed it in even more.
This is why I have some serious concerns at the moment with the way teams are defending Iowa State.
Yeah. That's a real thing. But the cure is you have to make some shots to make people play you differently. But go ahead with your concerns.
Well, I mean, I know Arizona's really good, and
do you think other people will mimic that?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, this is the issue. It's the same thing, Cita, that happened. This was extreme a couple years ago when Taman was a freshman. Remember, they just stopped guarding him. They're doing similar things right now, teams are, with Torrey. And now a little bit with Buchanan. Because what they're doing is, it's not a zone, but they're sagging off those guys. And then my guy Karchenkov.
And now we're into this screen world where the It looks a little bit like Iowa State's offense in previous years.
Absolutely.
Where you know what I mean?
That's exactly. That's like that was like for all of you on Monday. Like I think I've seen this before. Yeah, it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because what happens now is Milan is just getting, and they were super physical with him. Now I thought it was overly physical in the first half, and it really took Milan out of the game. And I think there were some fouls there that weren't called, by the way. But because you can sag off, just from a strategy standpoint, you sag off. You're really physical with Milan, and Karchenkov did a great job on him, even with a couple of fouls. You just get bogged down really quickly. And then Iowa State needed a All-American type game from Joshua Jefferson on Monday, and did not get that clear.
He got his worst game probably in a Iowa State uniform.
So my concern is Iowa State, when physically superior to teams, can get by. But when you play, like the Monstars, like Arizona or Michigan or Duke or Connecticut, or even Illinois has got some size, they're going to copy that. They're going to make Iowa State shoot over the top, and it's going to be really hard. And so the fear for me isn't, hey, Arizona's really good. Yeah, we know that. There are teams not as good as Arizona, but that will deploy the same exact strategy defensively against Iowa State. And because Torrey is struggling enough and Buchanan's struggling enough, and they're not shooters, it gets really bogged down in there. And then even Taman's going through a slump right now. So,
I don't know. Like, to me, like you're correct. And like, so you look forward, what's the way out of it? To me, it's like a guy like Heisey's got to shoot the damn ball when he's in the game.
Well, and that's where
where are your points? Where is the spreading coming from? It's not going to be Buchanan.
No, or Torrey at this point. So that's my concern. It's like it's got to come from somewhere. And I mean, yeah, it's Heisey and Bateman are the key, and then Taman's just got to knock some of those shots down. I did think the quality of shot Iowa State got was good. Like that was promising. There were shots to be made,
correct,
and they weren't made, and so it made it look a lot worse. It's just that is not. I mean, that's a bad match. Teams like that size, Michigan size, Duke size, Arizona size. Gonzaga's got some big dudes. That's going to be really hard for Iowa State, and that is my concern. Is you can't reinvent the thing on March 4th, and you're going to run into some of these. Houston. Now Iowa State beat Houston.
You have to stay out of the damn half court too.
You got, and that's the key. But that's my other complication. C-Dub is with Arizona again. You've seen it, and it's different in a neutral court. The neutral court in Kansas City is going to help Iowa State. They're not getting those volume of turnovers that will lead to the easy points. And so you end up in that. And if you get in a game like that against Arizona, Michigan, and Duke, it's just going to be really hard.
You're not going to win.
Yeah. And that's it. So, yes, I thought Iowa State played hard. It was not an effort thing.
They rebounded really well.
To get 15 offensive rebounds,
they shouldn't have been in that game when they were. They were within 7.
Were within 7? Yeah,
they damn near got it within 5. And I don't know what went through Milan's head. He passed up on an open 3.
Yeah.
There were a lot of really questionable offensive sets or just decisions in that game. The one that comes to my mind, Jefferson has it. He's on the left wing, calls Buchanan up for a screen, goes the wrong way, dribbles into 3 guys and off of his foot. It's like, I don't know. And Josh, I don't think against a top 5 team, if they're in the half court, I don't think they can even win. You know, like that's why I feel like I'm saying the same analysis, but it's all about getting in transition for these guys. You have to.
Need to. And I guess and I understand why fans are like, well, when you face the good teams, that's harder to do that.
Absolutely.
And it is. So you're right.
But like my point is, you don't just blow it up. Like you still have to try to do that because that's what you do really well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're not changing it on March 4th.
Because this is not going to be like this good half-court team ever. It's just not.
And that's so. What happened Monday is Iowa State needed Jefferson and Momcilovic, which are, in my opinion, those 2 guys are your best scorers against really good defenders.
You said Taman's in a slump. I thought he played really well.
He played great. I'm saying from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
You know, what is his percentage for the year? I mean, what, 30%, 31%?
Yeah, he has not shot well this year compared. No doubt about that.
I'm saying you don't have.
The one thing that made me feel like Bateman he was in a 2 of 17 slump, snapped out of it in that atmosphere. Give me more of that, dude.
Yeah.
And he's just got to play more than Torrey at this point.
Yeah, I think Saturday's really big for Iowa State just to make some shots, get more comfortable, and then I think, on a neutral court, Iowa State's going to be okay. But my takeaway Monday was Arizona's really good, but the problem, C-Dub, is if you wanted this special season of getting to a Final Four, you're going to play a team like that.
Yes.
Again.
Before the Final Four.
Probably before the Final Four.
Yes.
And so that's where it's like, what is your
Well, you might get them in the quarterfinals or the semifinals in Kansas City.
Yeah.
The way the bracket looks right now, Iowa State's probably going to be the 5.
Let's touch on that real quick.
Even if you beat Kansas, you're probably going to play Arizona down there.
Well, and then the tiebreaker situation is really interesting because both Tech and Kansas lost. Here we go. Thank you, Aiden. Aiden reads my mind.
What do you want?
So we're scenario planning. Houston's winning today. All right. Saturday, that's fine. West Virginia, UCF, irrelevant. Baylor, Utah, irrelevant. Let's give, for the sake of argument, we're giving AJ DeBansa a big dub. Okay, at home. Arizona is winning at Colorado.
We need
doesn't
Bloom
matter.
to have a telestrator.
Yeah, I feel like what's the
John King on CNN.
John King on CNN. Well, if you look at this precinct,
Yeah,
here,
yeah, it's,
the voting at 60%.
Let's go over to Polk County.
Iowa State's winning. For the sake of argument, well, we know there's no way K-State's winning at Kansas, right? No chance. Let's give Oklahoma State a win over Houston just for.
Come on.
No, just for fun.
In Houston?
I'm telling you, this is the best case scenario for Iowa
Okay.
State.
There's no chance that happens.
But
I live in reality, Bloom.
And let's give TCU a dub at home too. They're playing great. What do we got? Yeah, this is the problem. So even in this situation where you have a 3-way tie between Kansas, Tech, and Iowa State, this is why big conferences drive me insane. Because Iowa State played Kansas twice, and the other times didn't, Kansas wins the round robin competition against Iowa State and Tech. So, therefore, it is going to be nearly impossible. The only way Iowa State gets in that double bye situation is if Kansas State beats Kansas. Okay?
That is not happening. There's absolutely no way coming off of that loss to Arizona State.
Yeah, the ghost of
Kansas
Jerome Tang.
loses to Kansas State at home on senior day.
There is one other scenario, Aiden. Could go back. We're Team Baylor tonight. Okay, Baylor wins. All right, and then Oklahoma State beats Houston. Yeah, let's
With
see.
the Kansas
with
win?
Kansas, with a Kansas dub. Let's see.
With the BYU win too.
Yeah, BYU's got to win. Yeah, that's a big one. You need BYU to win. All right, so then you're there too. So we're Team Baylor, I guess, tonight.
I don't know. There's actually a part of me now, as bad as Iowa State's been, where I kind of want to play that Wednesday game.
Well,
and
just
honestly,
just get a feel good.
because if not, you can very really easily lose the 4-5 game.
Oh yeah, and then you're not feeling great about life.
There's part of me. It's like, who are they? Probably
Okay.
They could play Arizona State 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
let's go. Hey, Aiden, let's go back, and we got 4 minutes left, so I'll make this
We're
quick.
fine.
Let's
I think
run it
they're
back.
gonna get Arizona State.
Let's get Houston a dub today. All right.
Do what you think is gonna happen.
Yeah. Let's get Baylor. Let's give Tech a win on the road, although I don't think it's going to happen. Iowa
You don't
State,
think Tech will win at BYU?
I don't, because Tech's got some bigs, and I don't know how they're going to guard
Okay.
DeBansa,
All right.
quite candidly.
Good point. Yep.
Actually, put BYU as the winner. I think BYU's winning that game.
Okay.
Yeah, run it. And now, so you're the 5 in this situation. So you would play the winner of the 12-13 between Arizona State and Baylor.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, with each
Would
of which
that-
would have 0 people in Kansas City.
yeah, you should win.
Did you see that floor, by the way? That thing's going to, I'm telling you, I know social media, kind of. I'm kind of old now.
Your Mark's just loving the attention.
That floor is going to be the highlight of the next 2 weeks. Just wait. You wait. Now it's going to get made fun of,
I don't care.
but it's going to get a lot of attention.
Of all the things Your Mark's done and gotten shit for, I like this one. I have no problem with it. I'm fine with it.
When they announced Monday that Windex was going to be a sponsor, and people are like, oh, how dare really? Like, we're surprised that we're going to use corporate sponsors in college athletics. Come on, guys.
I had a friend reach out and say, what is the point of this? And I was like, it's marketing.
Marketing.
Like, it's what it is. It's marketing.
Yeah, so it's
They're gonna end up playing Arizona State 2 games in a row.
It's very, very possible.
Yeah.
And Arizona
I would
State
honestly
looks
like
good.
Kansas is you think that our situation's a disaster right now. You try talking to a Kansas fan after that whole deal.
Well, did you see old Bill Self got the quick heat
Main
last
man
night?
Sermons kicked him out.
Okay, that was a ridiculous ejection. Now, I don't know what he said.
What's going on with Sermons?
Well, Sermons has worked 9 straight days.
What was the ref that TJ hulked up at?
Roger Ayers.
Ayers. Oh my God.
I've never seen TJ that mad. These are the dog days for everybody, by the way.
I'm just like that. First of all, that was a horrible call. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Second, watching TJ hold his hands behind his back so he doesn't punch him. It's one of my all-time favorites. But that's his thing. He does that. He's always done that. That's not like a new thing. But Ayers was so composed in that situation.
He just took it.
But TJ had been like, so when who's the Jesus Christ, Scott Drew. When Drew's riding a ref, like it's whiny.
Yeah.
It's like it's constant.
Yeah.
TJ's deal is during timeouts, he just goes up and has conversations, and he was on Ayers constantly.
He's the
and then he just freaking snaps.
It's like when you're parenting. He's the I'm really disappointed in you, parent. Like it's very low key. But Sermons, the quick trigger on Self last night was incredible.
Yeah.
It was boom boom.
Did you guys see Bill Self walking out of the gym?
Do you have it?
Yeah, let's see. This video's from Chris Cartman.
Okay, this is has he been ejected at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Just see if you notice anything on his way out.
Okay. Self, I'm gonna do a play-by-play, little slow walk. Video paused, looking over at somebody.
Oh, the smoke.
They gave him the smoke.
That's awesome.
I love Bill Self.
Stuff.
Yeah, he was probably like winking at people in the front row. Just that. By the way, real quick too. Big 12 basketball's been phenomenal.
Oh,
theater
it's been entertaining
the last month. So the schedulers, like everybody involved, hats to you. It's
literally
been fantastic.
everybody's on edge.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
It is, dude.
Kansas City's explosive.
It's gonna be.
A couple of people are one of the guys in the comments said, "Isn't having the best conference like great marketing about the court?" It's not the same type of marketing. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is they're cashing checks. That's actually a really good piece in Sports Business Journal this week about your mark leaning into basketball and people saying forever that it wasn't a property that you could make money on. Like that's all that this is about. They're trying to monetize to the max their conference tournament.
You've been the best basketball league for probably 10 years.
And you're still in a financial hole.
So how do you negate that? Because you take advantage of that by integrating some of I know it's cheesy sometimes and it's kind of gimmicky, totally. But how do you get eyeballs? How do you get the attention from corporate world, which you need to alleviate what we talked about in the first half hour of the show? You have to do some stuff that's kind of like, eye-rolly. But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Wiffles Hybrids Big 12 segment. There you go. We should probably go through just real quick everything that happened. And then we already kind of previewed the schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be point is it is almost assured.
I would love to. Yeah,
Iowa State's going to be playing Wednesday at 11:30.
Just for the sake of Iowa State's fans too, I would love for Tech to get the 4 seed for ticket prices.
Yeah,
for Thursday because anytime Iowa State and Kansas get together in that building,
great point,
gets really expensive. And then the BYU thing is just kind of wild. But I agree with you that they'll bounce back.
I think they probably beat. I don't know. They're 500 right now with Tabansa.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, he said he might be coming back.
Well, what is he going to get paid? Like $10 million?
What Crumble cookie? How many more cookies has Crumble sold?
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
I don't think he's coming.
He can't come back. He's going to be the first pick in the draft.
I agree.
That would be the stupidest thing I've ever, unless he just doesn't want to play in the NBA, which the NBA is a train wreck. Can you still defend that league? This has been
We don't have enough time.
Oh my God, dude. I've never cared less about the NBA in my life.
Yeah, you old man right now. So
I
get on
know.
that cloud.
I'm the old boomer. All right, we got to get out of here. Loaded day. We are beat reporters coming up tomorrow here on Cyclone Fanatic, and then the women tip off in the Big 12 tournament. Aiden, can you give me the times and stuff on that?
5:30 for the women tomorrow.
Good. Night game.
And then Let 'Em Cook. New episode came out this morning.
Okay. So Leah and Chelsea will be on at 5.
Jake and Chelsea.
Jake and Chelsea will be on at 5 to preview the start of the Big 12 tournament. So we start all of our March coverage. Yes, Blue.
One quick. Got to give a shout out to my friend Bailey over in Eastern Iowa. You've met Bailey. He's come to the tailgate. Had major surgery last week.
Oh.
Thinking of you, Bailey.
Okay.
Appreciate
all right.
you. Hope you're doing
Appreciate
well.
you, Bailey. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully Cyclones can get a win for
That's
you,
right.
buddy, on Saturday, Senior Day. All right. He is Brent Blum, Aiden Wyatt producing the show as always. We will be back on Sunday night with this particular show, but so much more is going to happen between now and then. So stay tuned to everything here on Cyclone Fanatic. Later.